Well, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? Welcome to the Team Onward, no matter what conference call with all our Onward team from Avon and also all our adopted kids and peeps from the Onward no matter what group. I mean, can you believe it, guys? We're almost tipped out at 6,100 members in this group in a little over a year. What does that tell me? It tells me there's a lot of people out there who want to learn how to be successful. They want to learn how to stay positive. They want some inspiration. They want some motivation. They want some ideas. They want to move past the problems. They don't want to sit still, and they want to be successful. That is what I see when I see that. So welcome to our call. If this is your very first time on the Onward No Matter What call, you picked a great call, especially if you are in leadership. We're going to share a lot of great information with you tonight, hoping that it's stuff that you can use. I want you to keep in mind, look, just like when you get on my conference calls, if you're listening to my YouTube videos, or maybe you're on the Onward group and you're getting into the files and you're getting stuff and you see me posting stuff. Look, I want you to understand that this is not the only way to be successful. I tell everybody we have 167 senior executive unit leaders. We have 22, last I heard, national SEULs in Avon. That tells me that there are 167/22 ways to get to the top of the leadership chain. So everything I'm giving you is just one more way to try to take something that I share and incorporate it into your business. Look, the world would be a boring place if we all did the same thing all the time. But this is the key. In this business, it is about duplication. It is about what can you do, whether you're just starting this business and you're just starting to share your Avon brochures, or you're just starting your team, or you're just starting into a new title. What can you pick up and use that's duplicatable, that you can also share with the new people in your team or your Avon buddies or whoever you're sharing with? That is what this is about. It doesn't mean you're going to take everything that Mama Molly gives you and you are going to use it to a T, and if you want to, that's cool too. But this is about taking parts of what I give you and incorporating it into maybe parts of things that you're already doing that are working, or maybe in some cases nothing's working and you're just looking for something to work. And if that's the case, that's great too. So I don't want you to be thinking this is the only way to do it, and if I do this, Molly swears that every Avon representative in my team will be successful. Hogwash. If anybody tells you that, it's not the truth, because in the end, this business is all about the individual and what they choose to do with it. You can put all the right documents in their hands. You can put all the right ideas in their head. But the deal is that they don't get up off the couch and put down the Hershey almond bar or the popcorn and get out from the front of the TV. Guess what? Ain't no business going to get built that way. So they've got to get out there and put one foot in front of the other, okay? So, you guys know, for many of you who have been following me for a while now, even before we started the Onward group, there are people who have always said, Molly, what do you do to help your new representatives, be successful? And Molly, do you just do for your first gen, or do you do for your second and third gen too? What is it that you do, Molly, that helps your people be successful? Again, I tell you, the success is about them. It is about what they choose to do, because, see, everybody's success looks different in this business. You all know when I started out, I was just trying to make some extra money so that my son could attend prom and have a great graduation party. Some people, they want to pay the electric bill. I mean, hey, I still want to pay the electric bill, right? You following me? So this is a deal of, what is it? Do you want to give up your job? Are you tired of that job? Are you tired of telling your kids that you can't go to the movies because you can't afford that $9 or $10 ticket and popcorn and soda or juice? This is about trying to go after your goals and your dreams. And what I'm hoping this is going to add tonight, I'm hoping that this is going to help you to engage a lot more of your team. I can say the one thing that I'm very proud of with my team, and especially my leaders who use what I'm going to share with you tonight, is that number one, they have at least a 70% success rate with people putting in their first orders and paying for it. Our success rate is probably more like 75 to 80 with new representatives. And does that mean they all stay? No, it's not what it means. But the point is, I have to know, with being the team leader here, that I have covered all the bases and have taught my team, my leaders, to do the same, so that if they are going to take this and run with it, that I'm giving them what they need to make sure that they can. That questions that, sure, they should be easy to find on your Avon.com, but let's be real, guys. It might be easy for us to find stuff on your Avon.com, and eventually it will be easy for them. But I got news for you. I'm still looking for files on your Avon.com. I've been looking for 3 months, people are telling me, is on there. So the deal is, it's up to us to make sure they have it in their hands. And look, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people will say, oh, well, Molly, you're giving us all these files tonight, so I can just take all these files and I can just email them to my team, and they'll be great with that, and they'll be wonderful. I'm going to tell you that I don't believe that. I believe some will open the files. Some may have access to open the files, and maybe they've already gotten 3 or 4 emails from you and Avon and your upline and your DSM and the DVM, and Lord knows Pinocchio may have emailed them too from you, Avon. Who knows? But the point is, this is what I know. When I get something in the mail and it is hand addressed to me, handwritten out, and maybe it has a little sticker on it, that it says Avon, or in my case it says Onward, no matter what, with a nice pair of bright red lips there, that again I got from lovemybutton.com. So the point is, I'm putting stuff like that on there, and it makes me want to open it. Why? Because number one, somebody took the time to address it. And if nothing else gets them, curiosity gets them. But for a lot of my people, where this starts out is that I've made contact with them, and they know what to expect. They know to be looking for my package. Even if they're second or third gen, they know to be looking for what I'm sending them, that they are getting something, a box from Avon, but then they are also getting something from me. And I tell them, what I send you is going to be so helpful. It's going to really help you understand everything that you need to understand in the next 2 months until you really get a good hold on this and know what you want and where you want to go. Some of the stuff you've seen before, what I've done is I've condensed it so that it's not so many papers. So some of this is going to look familiar for those who were using my Avon Bible before. For some of you, you're going to go, oh, wow, this is really cool. It's not as much. And some of these you're going to go, I don't know if I want to use that. That's okay. You don't have to. But I'm going to go through each thing, and I'm going to explain to you why this has been important for me. And you've got to remember that the one thing that I have not forgotten is I do not forget what it feels like to be a new representative coming into Avon and having 1,000,001 questions. And that is what you cannot forget. Look, the first deal with a really great leader is to remember that most people, when they come into this, they have no clue what they're doing, where to go, how to get there. Oh, my gosh, what do I do? And sometimes they just want to take that box or maybe that kit that you're handing them, if it's a person-to-person, and they just want to set it in the corner. Have you ever seen that look of lostness in their eyes, like, what do I do next? Well, I wanted to get away from that. I wanted people to leave a table with me excited, just not being able to wait to get out that first brochure. I wanted people to want to dig in to the information that I've given them. And whether these people are signing up online with me and I'm making communication with them then, talking to them, or I'm emailing them something, they know what to expect from me. And they know what I expect from them, so I can help them be successful in this business. And very true. Look, they're either going to do it or they're not. But if I can get them engaged from the beginning, the really great thing about that is there is more of a chance of them hanging on. There is more chance of them saying, you know what, Molly said if I didn't get this, I could give her a call. Or if they're calling one of my unit leaders or my executive or whoever, or maybe even the district sales manager. The point is, half the reason you feel overwhelmed with the questions and everything else from your new people is because you're not putting the right information in their hands. I know people say, oh, God, don't give them too much. And some of you may look at this and say, I don't want to give them all this, Molly. It's too much. Then don't give it to them. I'm telling you that this isn't about what I say is the bomb, this is it, this is the best thing to use. I am sharing what is successful for me, and the reason it is because I fixed this up to say, if I were a brand new representative, what would I need? What would I need to go on? Who would I need to hear from? What do I need? So this is where we're going with this. But before we get to the packet, and by the way, this packet is something that if I'm meeting them in person, I put it in one of those cheap little 3 or 4 cent folders that you can get from Staples or Walmart, just the plain pocket folders. I like it to look very neat if I'm going there. So look, I love the way Avon has improved their sign-up kits. I love it. So along in this packet, I have this little folder that's in there with this information, and this is going to be what I go through with them, okay? So this doesn't matter whether you're giving it to them in person or whether you're sending it to them. I do both of these things, okay? The very first thing that I do, Lee, did you get those 2 new files that I sent you? The emails, okay. The very first thing that I do, I want you guys to get from the get-go, is it doesn't just start with this packet. It starts especially for somebody if this is an online appointment, okay? A lot of you are having those. I watch you on the Onward site. Oh, my gosh, somebody just signed up, and they live in 3 states away, or, hey, they signed up because they got my book, and it's online. Well, it's imperative right then for you to make sure that if you can't get a hold of them, make sure you leave a message. When somebody is signed up online, even if they don't answer the phone, I will text them and I will call them and leave a message that says, hey, I have sent you an email from this email address, molly7720@gmail.com. Please open it. It is very key to getting you started in your business. So if you don't open anything else, please open that. And then let me know you did. Text me back if you don't mind. Let me know that you did. So the first thing that Lee, and let me take a step back. All of you that are sitting on the page right now of the call, the event page, I need you to go out of the event page, and I need you to be on the Onward no matter what group page, okay? I know this is different from normal, but I'm not going to put files in the event page. We're going to put the files in as I go on the Onward site. So I want you guys to see these as we go so you can look at what I'm telling you about. So this isn't just a learning experience. This is kind of a participation, and let's look at the blackboard type thing, okay? So the first thing that Lee is going to put on is, Lee, if you could put on the first generation email, the first one and the second one you can put on there. Did you put it on there? Okay. Guys, you're going to see one that says 2744. And look, these are examples. 2744 welcome email online 2014. Okay? So I think I've taken all the old files off, but this is very important. And when you look at this, I want you to see the very first thing that's on there. What does it say? On the one that says the 2744, it says, "Hi, Melissa. Your Avon account number is," you have it down there, your Avon district number is, do what? You did? Okay, so you took them off? Okay, well, it doesn't matter. You guys see what goes on there. The Avon district number is on there. The district manager, their name is on there. Their number is on there. Let me tell you why this is key. Their email is in there. When your team is growing bigger and you are getting leads, especially if you get in a lead share program with Avon, everybody that you sign up is not going to be local to you. And you don't want them to be local to you unless you want to stay a unit leader forever, okay? Because the key to this business is if you want to be a unit leader, work in your district. If you want to be something above there, let's say you want to go from here to an executive, you know what, then you can work in your division. But if you really want to be an SCUL or above, a national SCUL, you've got to have the mindset that says you are willing to sign up anybody all over the country. And Avon has just given us the free will to do that. You all know that as of the beginning of this week, Avon said no longer do you need a face-to-face appointment first, that from the very start your newbies can say, "Hey, Judy, man, let me share with you what I'm doing, and I'm making some extra money. Would you like to do it? Here, you can go to startavon.com. Here's my reference code. Come on, sign up, Judy. We can have fun doing this together. It's only $15, man." Judy says, "It's not a hassle now. Oh, I got to contact my district manager. Oh, I got to contact my upline. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, don't forget, I got to go take a shower first, put deodorant on." You don't got to worry about that. They can sign up online now immediately. But you need to touch base. And you need to make sure that the district manager in that area is somebody that they can touch base with. Why? Okay, for all you district manager haters out there, okay, I get it. Not all district managers are great. We know that. Let me tell you, here you go, a little FYI for you. All representatives aren't great either, okay? But don't prejudge a district sales manager, because I have found out in my 10 years with Avon, sometimes you need those, ladies and gentlemen. And I will tell you, when you are signing up people all over the country, you really need them. Because if you've got somebody who's on fire and they would like more brochures and the district manager happens to have 10 more that they can spare, it is really nice to be able to put them in touch with that person so they can say, "I'm a new representative in your area and I have used my brochures and I would really like to get some more. Is there any way that you can put me in touch with somebody who can help me out with this?" I mean, don't you hate it that they have to stop with 10? Now, sometimes 10 is enough. We teach them how to recycle, correct? But we want them to know that, hey, this is not only your Avon information, but the district manager who's there to help you. This goes through and it tells them you'll be receiving 2 packages in the mail. One directly from Avon, that is your starter kit. It'll have your Avon brochures, your order pads, your instruction material that you need. But the second package will be a package from me. I put together some info and resources that I think will help you with your new business. But then we go on. Look, we don't want them just sitting there waiting for the packages. While you're waiting for those to arrive, you may want to take the time to go to your avon.com and register if you haven't already, so that you'll have access to all the free online training. Don't just leave it at that. You see, I said click on the training tab and then pathways. Avon even has marked which classes are best to start with for new Avon reps. The online training classes are fun, interactive, and not boring. Gotta love that. Don't forget to put your personalities in these emails. Yes, if you really want to take mine and you want to use it word for word, well, I would suggest you take out my information. But other than that, look, make this according to you and your personality. Look, if you guys are reading this email, you're going, "Oh my gosh, that sounds just like Molly when she's talking to us on the calls or the YouTube videos." That's right, because I also write how I talk, because it's going to make that person very at ease. And look, I also provide YouTube videos to help you with your ideas. And look, I do not mind if you tell them to subscribe to my videos. I mean, if my videos are good enough for you, why shouldn't you go ahead and hook them up to say, okay, start watching me, start on the pathways, let's get you going. You'll see that I put my conference call on there. If you all have conference calls for your team, you know what I'm doing? I'm setting up an expectation. And yes, people do need that. Hey, I have a conference call, and you know, when I tell them, look, it's not every Friday night, it's every other Friday night, and it's for support. And this is the information, and we always put like the next one that's coming and when they can do it. I always put whether it's Eastern Standard Time, of course, for us, because we have people in all different states all over the country. I also tell them, don't sweat it. There's a replay. If you can't be on there live, you can listen to it another time if you want to. I also introduce them to our national Facebook group. Why do I do this? Do you truly want them sitting there not doing anything while everybody in their life is trying to convince them that they just made a really stupid decision selling Avon? Oh, I did that. That didn't work for me. I lost more money than I did anything else. You know, they're just a bunch of rip-off people, Avon. I mean, I like ordering them the blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Look, we don't want them to get caught up in all of that. You guys know the encounters you've had with the negative Nellies out there, and Jethro, who didn't even get out of the second grade, but he wants to tell you that you shouldn't be building a business because you just couldn't be smart enough to do that. Look, we have to give them some avenue of support. So show them what they can start with now. And I'm very honest, you see, and I got this from Lisa Wilbur. I get paid specifically to help you with your new Avon business by Avon, so please don't hesitate to contact me. You'll see it has my information. I tell them the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of me. I tell them that my business card, of course, is always included in my packet, and that I am there for them. Now, I want you to notice the PS. This is important. P.S. It's a good idea to ask for payment with orders from your customers because you're a new Avon representative. Avon's likely to ask for a deposit or full payment when placing your order until you build up a history of paying with Avon. And yes, the reason I put that in is because I don't know if they are going to be an in-person sign-up or an online sign-up. But we need to prepare them that they need to have that money. To make sure you prepared, you should be asking them to collect the payment. But get the PSS, guys. How many of you are agitated because a district manager or somebody else, whoever it may be, or they just do it because they think they should, and they get registered on the site, and then they go on and they just order some books. And you're like, seriously? They don't even have anything yet. They're ruining that first order. They're not going to get the $100 order to get the free gift. Well, hopefully they're going to read this. We place one order every 2 weeks according to our mail plan schedule. So there is no need to order immediately. And you see that I have that bolded. I've included a copy of your mail plan schedule in the package that I send, and you can also find it on youravon.com. Take the time now to tell as many people as possible about your new business and start collecting orders. I can help you navigate the site when placing your first order, but it will also be helpful if you have completed the initial online training. Let's talk soon. Do you understand that I just put their business back in their hands but gave them some of the pointers that not only they need, folks, but what we need them to do, because we want to start them out right. We do not, and you say, well, Molly, I could have put that in the packet. Guys, they may try to place a order before they get your packet. So that is why I reach out to them by text and by phone, even leaving a message saying, please open the email that I sent you. This is my email. Very important that you read this before you do anything else with your Avon business. And please let me know if you did receive it and if that you have read it so that I know we're on the same page. Very important. Now, that one that I'm looking for, of course, I've given you one for first gen, for everybody who's building their first gen, which you should be. But I've also given you another one for second gen, which is almost kind of the same thing, but when you look at the second and third gen, you're going to see it says your account number, your district number, your immediate upline. So I make sure I know if Susie over here has signed up Carol, then I want Carol to know that I'm a part of her support team too, but her immediate person to contact is going to be in this case, if it were mine, it would be my executive, it would be Linda. So what I'm telling you is this is all basic. You can go through that again. You're going to see it's basically the same thing. What I did is I just added the upline and the district manager information. Now, for all of you, if you don't know, and I'm going to go through this real quick with you, that doesn't mean I need everybody to go to youravon.com, but if you're looking for that information, and you can look on Downline Manager, you can obviously see that person's profile, but if you can't see any of that, but you have that person's zip code, you know that you can go to where you put in the appointments, of course, and you can go to, let's see here, you can go to Look Up District, and you can put in the zip code, and if you put in that information, then what happens is it brings up what RPS they're in, and yes, it brings up the manager's number. And for all of you who don't know, sometimes it's different, but 95% of the time, the manager's email is their first name dot their last name at avon.com, okay? Now, sometimes that is different, and, a lot of times what I'll do is I will contact the district sales manager and say, hey, I wanted to make sure if you get a hyphenated name or something, make sure of what it is. It takes nothing more than reaching out to the district manager, and I will tell you that most of the time they're pretty good at getting back to you, okay? So I think those emails, just to get people started, that it's very, very, very important to put them out. If you choose to, again, but I will tell you, I think this is why I don't have a lot of people who put in an $8 order for books. I think this is why I don't have people who are sabotaging themselves by only putting in a $12 or $13 order, because this allows me to say, don't put this in right now. You don't want to do this, because I'm going to show you how this is going to be better for you if we talk first. Okay, so we have the emails that are out there for you, and remember, change all that to suit yourself. So let's get to the Molly's Bible. You all notice I took out, it was just Avon Bible, but with all the hoopla on the Avon and this and that, I just figured it would be much better to call it my Bible, but of course call it your Bible, whoever you want to. So we are going to start first with the Molly's Bible File 1. Now let me tell you what I've done differently this time around. So many of you, when you watch my YouTube video on the Avon Bible, you have said, Molly, I don't know where to find the files, or when you went into the files of Onward, it wasn't so easy to find those files. So what Lee has done for me, God bless the fact that I have Lee, Lee has gone into this, and he has marked everything, Molly's Bible File 1, File 2, File 3, File 4. You are going to be able, when we get done here, you are going to be able to pick any of these files or all of the files, if you choose to use them, to make up your own Avon Bible or Success Starter addendum, whatever you want to call it, to make sure that your newbies have this in their hands so that they know what to do, okay? So the very first thing we're going to go to is, in my opinion, if you don't use anything else, you need to use this one. And yes, I did say you need to use this one. So Lee has already put up file number 1, and or it's in the process. If you can't see it, don't freak out. It's coming, all right? Now this is the one that I've taken many pages of what I used to put in, and I have put this into a few pages. And this is, besides the welcome letter that I put on the top that we'll go over in just a few minutes, this is, to me, the most important 4 pages, I believe it is, that you can give the representative in their kit. And yes, again, you want to email this to them, you go ahead. I hope they open it. Again, I'm going to tell you just from experience, I have tried it both ways. Both ways. And I find more success with people who they call me all excited because they're like, oh, I got your packet. Now, let me tell you why. Now, remember, I'm an SEUL in this business. For you newbies, I'm a senior executive unit leader with Avon. I'm at now almost the top level, working towards national SEUL. But you've got to realize that what happens is you've got to do things according to where you're at, okay? So when you hear about, oh, do you see what Molly gives her people when she starts them out? Oh, my gosh, I can't do that. That would cost me too much money. You're right. It probably would. And I did not start out with a lot of the things I'm going to tell you that I give my first gen. I'm going to tell you that I graduated to those levels. I want you to understand that it's not the extras that you give them. It's the important stuff to make them feel like they're smarter than they think they are right now. So we have to put it in layman terms. So this isn't about the fact that I send them 5 or 10 books, that I send them 30 more samples, that I send them extra order books, that I send them, a bunch of extras because, you know what, that's what I do because I'm a senior and I can do it now, okay? But in the beginning, it was about just making sure that they had the right information. You may want to say, hey, if I'm going to send this, I want to just send this out, but maybe you just want to send them a pack of samples that might cost you $1.25, that doesn't weigh that much more, just to say, hey, I added a few samples for you. I hope this helps kickstart your business well. Maybe some of you want to put 2 extra books in there or 1 of each that they're getting from Avon. Maybe you want to throw a couple of outlets in there if you have them. There is any number of things you can do to make your people feel special. And when I first started out, it was nothing more than an extra thing of samples that I sent them or gave them, or I would say, the Avon kit comes with this. But what I've done is I've thrown a couple of extra things in here for you because I just know you're going to do well. See, I'm already believing in their success because sometimes they come to the table or the phone or the computer or FaceTime or Skype and they don't believe in themselves and they're hearing a bunch of negativity, and that is my job. I am their coach. I am their mentor. I am there to service their knowledge to make sure they get what they want and then to figure out what they're going to do with it once they have it. So along with the goodies that I send them, this is the heart of my packet. You're going to see here, it says, congratulations on your new Avon business. Why shouldn't you say that? Congratulations on their new Avon business. Look what they just stepped out to do. You have got to show some enthusiasm for your new people coming in here, because if you're just like, hey, there's your account number, your district number, go to yoravon.com, it'll walk you through it, all right? See ya. Well, I got to tell you, they're going to tell you, see you, okay? They're going to say, I'm out of here. I don't get this. This lady's not very friendly. This guy's not very friendly. I am telling you, success does not always end with you, but it always starts with you as a leader, always. Because I never want anybody on my team to say, if Molly had given me the correct information, I think I could have done better in this business. I don't want to hear that. Now, why don't I want to hear it? Because there were many times that I was lax in my business, that I did not make time for all the appropriate things. And I should have paid much more attention to at least getting that start, making myself available to them. No, Facebook wasn't available then. Thank God for the option with having close to 500 people on my team to be able to say, hey, I have an Onward no matter what group with some fabulous team members and some fabulous sister and brother representatives, and we bring our ideas together and we share, and no matter who you are, what your what your 1099 or your W-2 says, what side of the tracks you were born of, no matter who your mama or daddy was. We all have the same chance to be successful in this business because everybody, somebody in this group is where you've been, where you are, and where you want to go. And if you take these ideas and you run with some of them and you do them more than once, over and over and over and over again like I have, you have the chance to be just as successful, if not more successful, than I am right now. That is one of the grand things about social media right now, because we have things like this. With so many people, I forget how many states we're in now. I know I just picked up somebody from Alaska, and I have to tell you, how will I train them? Are you kidding? To be able to send them to my YouTube videos and say, hey, here are some ways for you to do this. Hey, this is what I've gotten discouraged from. Hey, this is where I came from. Hey, look at these people here on the Onward group. Look at what they're doing. Look at what these trials and these tribulations that they're going through. But their motto is onward no matter what, because they're going to get through it. We have got the best of this world and this Avon to say, go forth and be successful. And while I'm at it, I'm going to hand you a packet that's going to show you how you're going to be successful. So obviously I put their account number and their district number here. I always put the first order for the campaign that I know they're supposed to be starting in now. We know Avon's made that change. I love that change. They don't actually start until they put their first order in. So what I love about this is the date I put in there is what their first order is due. But see, by this time, I've talked to them, and if something's happened in their life and that's not going to work for them, I can say, hey, look there on your mailing plan schedule that I had given you, and I want you to take a glance at this and see if you really needed to, you could start in this campaign. And by the way, all those books you got from Avon, the 13th and the 14th, they're all good, okay? So just keep in mind that you have to know what campaign they come from. I love the fact that they are pending until they make the first move to put in that first order. So what's the first thing that they need to know besides that? If they haven't already, by what we've sent them in the email, they need to make sure that they've registered their account online. We're showing them how to do it. We're walking them through them. We're talking about their web store. And as you see, I've even given them my website as an example so they know exactly what they're looking for. I am talking about training again. I'm talking about pathways, how they can get on there and they can, do those first 5 courses at least under the, under new representatives. What's the next thing I'm telling them? I'm telling them what it is that they're going to earn. People say, oh my gosh, Molly, is this important? I don't give them that all at first. Well, I got to tell you something. When we were making 40% guaranteed no matter what, first 4 campaigns, there probably wasn't a need to do this. I have always felt the need to share this. It's okay if you disagree with me. It's absolutely fine. That is the great thing about this business. You can disagree with me. You can do the exact opposite of me. I am not going to be offended. I can't wait for you to tell us how successful you've been the way you've chosen it. But I have figured out that if I put this in here and I set the expectation right from the get-go of what I believe they can do, then what happens? They know what they need to shoot for. So this is what I love about this. I'm showing them where are the hot points, the hot spots. Where is it that if they are at, if they're at $432, then my gosh, if their order was just $440, now instead of 35%, you're going to be at 40%. So you're talking $8 more in product. Is there something they need personally? Is it one person they didn't check on for an order? You want to teach them how to look for the hot spots. How you don't want them $10 close to the next earning level and they miss it by $10. And people ask me, Molly, do you bring that to their attention? You dead all right, I bring that to their attention, and I work it out for them. I say, if you had just placed an order that was $10 more, this is what you would have made based on what we're looking at on your invoice. So I want you to pay attention next time to where you are before you place that submit button. I would much rather you be over it by a few dollars than to wish you had done it. And then what happens is they're almost very grateful that I have given them something to look for that we think that they should just know. Looking at that chart, they're not just going to know that. And not to mention, what about the bonus bundles they can get? Okay? Demos, sell $100 or more, paid, first 4 orders. You get a bonus bundle earned at the 5th order. They need a $100 order or more. So look, all you, I'm going to step on some toes. You know I do that at least once a call, so here we go. So all you unit leaders, that's right, and candidates, that's right. All right, so listen. To all of you who are out there just looking for that $25 check in the mailbox, and all they have to do is put in a $50 order. That's all you're worried about is them putting in the $50 and paying for it, and you're getting the $25 check. Shame on you. Do you see where you're at right now? That's where it's going to stop for you. Exactly where you're at right there. It's not all about you, Cupcake. And when you're just looking for that $25 check for you, you have then made it all about you. You're not going to see anybody make anything when they put in a $50 or a $55 order. By the time they buy a few samples and buy their brochures, they're going to walk away with $3.87. They're going to tell you they're not making any money, but you're sitting there with blood money of $25 in your hand. Shame on you. Shame on you. Your team will never be any better than it is if the only thing you're looking out for is a $25 check. Now let me tell you the flip side of this. I show my team members how to build a $300 order. I've got some of my SEUL friends who say they teach them how to build a $400 order. I think that's awesome. But I start with $300 because why? I want to see them walk away with close to $100 and making some money that put in their pocket, and I also want to see them earn this bonus bundle. I have set the bar at more than $100. Let's say that you set it for $300 and their first order is $180 and they pay for it. They have not only earned the first step in the bonus bundle, but you've also earned the $25. So now you're getting the $25 anyways, but now you're teaching somebody how to be successful and showing them, yes, they can build orders for more than $100, and they can continue to build them more. And then when they start their team, they're going to teach their people because they're going to duplicate what you have just shown them. And if you are not showing them this, you are doing them a disservice. You do not have the heart of a servant. You are not going to see your team prosper because you will not get off of what are you getting out of this. That's just how I see it. Does it mean I'm right? On this one, I'm right. I am absolutely 100% right. I don't care what your opinion is. A $50 order is all about you, Cupcake, and you're going nowhere in this business thinking that way. Okay? And as you notice down there, too, you notice I also put the 20% on fixed earnings. People say, oh, my gosh, Marty, why do you put that? I don't want them to know there's some things that they're making 20% on and they can't make any more. Why not? Why not? What, are you going to be upfront? Are you going to be sneaky? Are you going to say, oh, they're not telling you about that? No. I point them out to them. I'm on the phone with them. I'm Skyping with them. I'm FaceTime with them. Hey, pick up your brochure, Campaign 14. Okay, girl, I want you to go over to, the jewelry section. Now, do you see that watch on page 96? You see how it's got that little asterisk right beside it, that little diamond symbol? Girlfriend, anything you see that has that diamond symbol, okay, that you're going to make 20% across the board no matter what. Third-party item, Avon doesn't make it. I love the fact that Avon carries these products because for everybody who is not yet into makeup or skincare or any of our body stuff or our perfumes, we now have something that will engage them into the Avon brochure until we can introduce them to how great our makeup and skincare and perfume and everything else is. So if they got babies and they like the kids line, that's absolutely awesome. If it's a Father's Day gift, hey, they're going to like that. Maybe they like our shoes. Maybe they like our dresses. I love them. I want them to sell that. But this is how I tell them that our Avon brochure is like the Sears wish book, and there isn't anybody who shouldn't find something in there that they like. You hear people, oh, I don't do makeup, or, oh, I use Mary Kay, or oh, I do dermalogical, I do this, I do all, it doesn't matter what they do. Wait a minute, have you seen an Avon brochure lately? Do you know they carry purses and jewelry and all this other stuff? Oh, no, I didn't know that. Okay, you are teaching them how they are going to make a sale and how they're going to get somebody who never had any use to open up an Avon brochure. Suddenly, they're going to want to open it up, and they're going to want to see what else they have besides lipstick. That is why I use this chart. Okay, so keep that in mind. The next thing we're going to go on to is I talk to them about placing their orders. Orders are placed every 2 weeks and need to be placed by noon Eastern Standard Time. Do you see I put Eastern Standard Time? Because all over the country, if it's noon Eastern Standard Time for me here in Maryland, people on the other side of the country, it's going to be what, 11 o'clock for them, whatever it is. It's going to be later. It's going to be earlier. So I want them to know that is noon Eastern Standard Time. And when we're on the phone talking, I help them figure that out if they're in another part of the country. The other thing that I introduce them to is the Representative Processing Schedule, the RPS. Their mailing plan is an RPS 8. People say, how freaking important is that? Let me tell you what's important about it. You know how Avon sends those emails out and they say RPS 8 has been kept, it's going to be left open for another 2 days? I tell them if that doesn't have that number on it, it doesn't affect you. Don't worry about it. This is the number you're looking for. If it's 4, if it's 2, if it's 10, if it's 1, if you don't see it when they're talking about RPS, that doesn't affect you. And I have given them the RPS schedule, which, by the way, you can all find on youravon.com, and I'm going to do one better for you this weekend. I'm going to be putting 2 to a page that I have gotten from Maria and Kendall Crunk, SEULs, in Texas, I believe, and they are 2 to a page, and I am going to enter those in the files also, and you're going to be able to print these out, and it's going to be all the RPSs from the trend all the way to RPS 10. They're actually easier read than what you find online at avon.com, so I'm going to be doing that to help you, and there's 2 to a page. So if you do them portrait style, okay, or no, what is it, Lee? Landscape or portrait? What is it? When I want it to go sideways? Landscape. If you do it landscape instead of portrait printing, then you're going to get 2 to a page, and it's going to save you. It's all in black ink, so it's not color. So we're going to help you out with that also. What's the next thing I talk about? Keep your store open at all times with your brochures. To invest in your business, you will need to purchase your most important business tool every campaign, your brochures. After all, this is your store. Keep in mind, you're ordering brochures for 2 campaigns ahead of the one you started in. Brochures are ordered in packs of 10, not individually. There is a sheet included with this packet with the brochure prices. The more you order, the cheaper they are. Now, I have that down here also. You will see. You got to understand this. I know we know this. I just cannot get this through your heads enough. Everything I just put in those little few sentences, I know we know. But your new reps don't know. And sometimes if it were just up to you to tell them, you're not going to remember, because you're talking to so many people on your team that you don't remember. But for the person who truly is going to be serious about this business, these 4 pages here, they're going to read because, one, they're simple. It's broke up into sections. They can pretty much figure out what it is that they need to learn here. And then if they have questions from there, they can ask you. So you're going to see that I told them a sheet's included with the packet. What's the next thing I talk about? Shipping. Because what do they ask about? Shipping charges are based on your order size and whether your order was placed on time. I make sure they know anywhere from $5.95 to $14.95. And then you see, I know that Avon words it a little differently. I took it and I worded it how it is. This is your order size. This means when you put your order in by 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and if it's after 12 noon Standard, then that order is late and you're paying $4 more. Your delivery day will be consistent unless the holiday falls within a campaign, in which case your order will normally be delayed 1 business day or so. You know, we have to tell them this is not all gospel. Sometimes trucks break down. Sometimes UPS doesn't do what they're supposed to do. This is all part of the business. I want you to remember that your team is going to only react according to your reaction. If somebody calls you because their order was supposed to be there on Wednesday by end of day, and it is Thursday and it's still not there, and if your reaction is unbelievable, I cannot believe that Avon did not get your order to you on time, I am going to call them, I am going to ream them, this is unacceptable, why in the, I don't know, and you're a new rep, I can't believe they did that. Oh yeah, people do that. I hope it's not you, but people do that. When somebody calls me and they didn't get their order when they were supposed to, my first thing is I want to first apologize. I'm sorry it didn't get there when we were expecting it. Sometimes this happens when you own your own business. What we can do is we can, first of all, I'm going to walk you through checking the tracking on your order. Let's see what it says. And then if that doesn't work, I am going to make sure you have the number to call Avon and tell them you've not received it. And let's see what they say, because they're going to get this corrected. Again, I know you may get it a day or so late, but you know what? This can happen. We hope it doesn't happen a lot. But I'm going to tell you, we're going to get through this. There's no big deal. And you're not in it alone. You're in it with me. So we're going to make sure that you're taken care of. They then are going to be calm. They then, you're going to get your crazy-ass representative here and there who's still going to want to yell and stomp and snort. But for the most part, they are going to feed off how you are looking at this. So it's up to you. So this is something I put on there so we can talk about it. You see it says in any campaign you can order from the current brochure as well as the 2 previous. Is that important? Sure it is. Why is it important? Because what if they got 14s and 15s and now they're in 15, but for some reason they got a really slow start and they still have 14s in their hands? Again, we hope that we tell them this when we talk to them. But what about those representatives who never get on the phone with us? What about the ones who never really want that personal touch no matter what we do, no matter how much we reach out? My deal is whether they want us involved or whether they don't, I want to make sure they have all the information they could have that is imperative in their first few campaigns. That if they have a question, most of what they have a question about can then be reviewed in these pages, and this is one of them. Yes, those prices are still good. You can go back 2 campaigns. Of course, we talk about the what's new briefly, and we're not going to go over that. You all know what it is. But you know how many times that they've seen PRP, okay, and R? You know what I'm talking about, how there's 2 different prices there. How many of you get calls all the time? I don't understand. Why is there 2 prices? I'm seeing PRP and I'm seeing R. Who am I? Am I R or am I PRP? And, you know, sometimes I used to answer that so much that I would think, let me just answer the phone and go, you're an R, dude. You're an R. You know what I'm saying? You're not PRP. Yeah, you're an R. What I figured out is if I just took a little phrase and I just put it in there and gave them an example, pretty much I can always say, hey, also you can refer back. You know the packet I sent you? on the second page, we talk about the demo book, the What's New book. And if you look there, that explains that a little bit better for you. So you might want to look back at that. Then let's talk about supplies, things that they need. You know how it is. The sales tools are crazy. And we know that there are many more bags that they can get. And guys, yes, do I like some of the other bags better? Do I like the handle bags and all? Yes, I do. But I need you to understand something. My job in this business is to make sure that my new representatives are putting out as little money as they have to on the sales tool things that they need, because I want them buying more brochures. I want them getting their store out there. So although we may not like the fact that the plastic bags don't sit well on the bottom, let me tell you something. Most of my customers don't care how that bag sits. They just want that bag with that product. I can still staple an invoice on there, and I can get it to them. So I would much rather see my girls getting 25 bags for $1 or 25 bags for $2 than to be spending an obscene amount of money on more expensive bags, okay? You'll see also the clear literature bags are up there. I put the hang brochures. We all know to toss brochures too, but by this time I hope that they're turned on by the YouTube videos and they're going to see that tossing, or they're going to talk to me, and I let them know. And in my opinion, these are some of the most important things. You see, I have the paper shopping bags there. If they want nicer bags, this is what they are. They can get a little of each if that's what they want. The order books, yes, I tell them get those order books, even if they're going to do the online invoicing. These are great books that are free to us from Avon to take orders from when people call, or they're texting us their orders or emailing us their orders. And as you notice, yes, I do give them the item numbers. I don't need them having to spend 20 minutes getting frustrated online looking for these item numbers. I need to make sure they can get their hands on it if they pick up my folder. Okay. It says, continue to check your email for important announcements from your Avon team that will help you succeed, including district sales meetings. Please join us at the next district sales meetings. Look, if you know, and this is my deal, I don't know. I have people all over the country, so I don't know when the sales meetings are. But I do tell them they should get emails about them. So if you know when yours is and they are in your district, put it in there. Type it in there so that they know. And then you'll see there that I finish up with all I feel is the most important information. I have given them customer support. I have given them leadership, fundraising, the product hotline. How many times? Could you tell me this about this product? I swear, every time someone asks me that, it's something I don't know. Every time I think I'm a braino on product, I realize I am no braino, let me tell you. So this, the e-representative hotline, somebody has an issue with their order that they ordered online through your website, and I tell them, hey, you can call this number, and they can give them their order number, and they will gladly help them. And then, of course, there's other numbers, and I've given them the direction. Go to youravon.com, community, my district, resources. And then, of course, I'm their upline. So it's going to be me, my information, my email. It's going to be their district manager, their phone number, the district manager's email. And again, you see I add all the stuff again that you saw in the email. Important stuff that will make them grow in their business, stuff you want them to see over and over and over again, stuff you want them to take advantage of. It's always great if you can put that stuff in their hands more than once. So if you get them to open the email and they have this, that is great. And again, this is my information, but make this your own. And yes, I do have the old Avon leadership logo there. To me, that's the best logo that Avon ever had that has to do with leadership, because leadership is a stepping stone. It is stairs. And that is what we do. We are up here, we are higher than they are, and we are reaching down, and we are helping them up the stairs to success. So I can never get away from that. And, of course, my flow line, tenaciously training others to be their best. That is what I do. And as you see, I put my number there more than once, okay? You see it's up there a couple of times. So that is what you're doing. And then, you know, you're going to see that on, let me see here, on the other one, you see it's for the second and third gen. You guys can look at that. We're not going to go through it because a lot of it is basically, you know, the same type thing. But I just make sure, again, that they get this. I want them to know. I send this, I tell my leaders, if your people who are in my second and third gen, look, I'm your leader. I'm a senior executive, or when I was an executive, or even when I was an AUL. When I have leaders who are working underneath me, they know, my first gen leaders know that in their first and second gens, they don't have to do this 4-page thing here because they know that I'm sending it to their first and second gen. But I want them to learn that they need to do these things, so they are responsible to make sure that they show their team how to do this. And my team has these who are very serious about being successful in this business because, again, it's about duplication, and there's nothing about this that's not duplicatable. Now, when you look at file, Molly's Bible, file, what is that, Lee? 1? Is that how it's worded? 1? Okay. If you're looking at file 2, is that what it is, Lee? Okay, it is. File 2 is, right? Yeah, file 2 is the brochures. Remember how in the first 4 pages we talked about how I was going to show them how cheap the brochures was? This is actually right off of the Avon site, but Lee has scanned all these in, so you can absolutely just hit. There's no personalization in this. None needed. It's the same for everybody until they change it. And, yes, I do put this behind that packet also. Let's see, the next thing that I put in there, yes, you'll see the next thing is to jumpstart your earnings. Look, guys, I know that Avon puts some of this stuff in their kit when they put this stuff in there, but sometimes it doesn't make it to them in the same condition that it left Avon in. And the reason that I put this in my packet is because of this. And look, I don't copy this in color. I want you to be clear. I know that this Jumpstart flyer is in color, but I always do it in black and white. And this is what I want you to be sure of. See, when they call me, when they get this packet, we sit down with this packet together for those who choose to do that, and the majority of them do. And when they do, we start at the beginning and we go through this packet. And I want to make sure that I have introduced them successfully to the Jumpstart Leadership Opportunity. So I will go through this, and I will say, you know, I want you to know what you can earn by sharing what you're doing with somebody else, your friend who needs money, or the one who couldn't go on that trip with you, or the one that has the little boy who wants to play football. Or how about the one who has too much time on their hands and just would like to do something with you and team up? I take them through this, showing them exactly what kind of money they can make, and mostly the first part. Look, I love that. You know, we know if we're getting that $150 to $300 order and they pay for it, we know that they're getting a check for $25. To me, shoot, they should definitely want to do it then. They should want to find the first 10 people that they can find and share the opportunity with. So we want to make sure that we do that. The other thing, this is absolutely optional, but ever since Avon came out with the Avon motto that this is the company that puts mascara on lashes and food on the table, you know that I can never get through this thing without welling up. It's really bad for me because so much of this was true about me and my life. You know, mascara on lashes. Well, see, I can remember when I couldn't afford the mascara to put on my lashes. Food on the table, yeah, I get that. They fight wrinkles with one hand and breast cancer with the other. And cancer for me, with what's been going on with my brother, has been a really, really big hit home. And Avon is such an advocate on the breast cancer thing that it has become more endearing to me. They know the value of a perfect lip that still opens its mouth and speaks out against domestic violence. I have lost people to domestic violence. I have people who were still in domestic violence, emotional, physical, and otherwise. And for women and a few good men, financial independence. Because for me, that's a lot of what this was about. Never feeling like I was smart enough or good enough or could ever catch on enough to be financially independent and be able to pay my own way, and nothing against men, but being told all my life that I could never make it without one paving the way for me. And to figure out that Avon was the company who helped me see that. This is a company that not only brings beauty to doors, but also opens them. The company that supports 6 million representatives in over 100 countries. This is Avon, the company that for over 125 years has stood for beauty, innovation, optimism, and above all, for women and a few good men. When you really take that in and you go through that with them, and you all can think that that's stupid, you can think that it's wasteful, but those words that are outlined there, like domestic violence and breast cancer and fights, and how about food, that should probably be outlined for me. Support, optimism, those are words that are going to hit more people than just me. So for my own thing, I put this motto in there because I want them to know how proud I am of what Avon stands for. The other thing I put in there, and you all have seen this, it's probably in the files a couple of times, is the 70 ways to get more customers and recruits. There's one also out there that's 100 ways. I could probably do one that says 500 ways to get more customers and recruits. But I want them to understand, and what I normally do with this is I say, look, we're not going to go through all of this, but I'm going to bring out just a couple of here to let you know that this can be done no matter where you're at. Give a catalog to a coworker, I'll tell them. Include a flyer or a business card with a sample in your bill payment. Or how about when you go to the doctors or the dentist? I try to pick the ones that introduce their life to them, what they do every single day, to let them, that light bulb that's there, make that light bulb go off so that they understand that, oh, yeah, I didn't even think about going there, or, oh, man, maybe I should do that, or, oh, yeah, maybe I should take that. I didn't know I could hand somebody a book going through the drive-in window. Sure you can. You never know who's there. So I always put this in, and, of course, we're going to put that up there for you. And then, of course, I love this. I love the tear tabs. Now, if you go in the Avon files right now, Teresa Paul has put one in the files right now that I love. It's got, like, the I Love Avon heart. I love this, too, because it's got the product, it's got the name, and this was given to me by DSM not too long ago, probably a couple of years ago, that they can actually take and either take a label and put the label in those spots that says buy or sell Avon, or they can write it on there. I always tell them, tear off a couple of the tabs when you're cutting them. Make it look although somebody has gotten them. And in any place that community-wise, laundromats, a lot of people don't just assume that they do their laundry at home. A lot of people don't have a washer and a dryer, or maybe a Wawa or a Sheetz or a Dashin, or I don't know what y'all have all over the country, but that's what we got, where they have community boards that you can actually look. I keep push pins with me all the time in a little container, and I will take these and I will put them up along with recruiting flyers, and I have gotten many customers by doing this. And if you have shy individuals, this is a way for them to gain a customer or maybe a possible recruit without them even opening their mouth because they haven't gotten there yet, but they can simply grab some customers because somebody's going to say, hey, I lost my Avon representative. So I definitely put that in for them. The next thing is this money management suggestions for new representatives. When I was introduced to this, I felt like this is one of the best things ever. I loved it. Money management suggestions for new representatives. It talks about taking the orders and requesting a deposit. And for all you people who've been in forever and you never had to do that, so the freak what that you don't have to do that. Representatives today do, and we need to be showing them as if it is normal to take an order, request a deposit or payment up front. And let me tell you something. When you're holding $20 for somebody's $40 order, believe me, they're coming back to get their order because you've got $20 of their money. And that is one of the things that I tell them right away. Is even if you want to take a deposit and take 50% of it, the point is you've got some of their money. They're coming to you for the order, so make sure that you do this. Yeah, if they got some credit, great, they got some credit. But what if they don't, guys? We have got to be ready no matter what the situation is. So I love this. It goes through delivering the orders to call and confirm the date. This is so just simple. I love it. Making payments to Avon tells them how to do it. And you know this, don't you, on there, I put down at the end, it is not recommended to mail your payments. They've been known to take too long to be received and posted to your account. Please use the above suggested methods. So do I sign up people who don't have debit or credit cards? Sure I do, and I tell them, go get a prepaid credit card. You're going to use that strictly for your Avon. You're going to load the money up. You're going to pay Avon with it. You're going to do it again next campaign. You're not going to use that card for anything else except load up the money that you owe Avon. That's what you should do. We are showing them how to form a business. That is what this is about. If you go to the second page, this is the earnings sheet. How many times do they tell you, I don't know how much I made? And if they've really got to have it written out for them, well, here you go. It's all down there. One simple fee you're going to see, all they got to do is look at our 4-page thing to see where did they fit and what was on their invoice. It's going to help them calculate, you know, what was for them, and there's the example. See the example so they can see what they're doing there? Look, I put this in there because some people need to see it. They need to see it, okay? So look over this. If you can use this, this can be a good thing. I'm finding it's really helping them. One of the last things that I put in, actually not the last thing. Where's the other thing, Lee? Where's the, there it is. Customer follow-up is file 9 that I'm looking at. I have been using this for years with my new representatives because this is how I started out. And I made this to where you could absolutely take this, make copies, and you should be getting this in all their hands. How are they going to keep up with this? Because you are going to put their name and their email address, their phone number. You can put what campaign it is. Look, the instructions are right there on the bottom. This is so easy. Did they place an order? Did you give them a brochure? How am I going to keep up with it when I got 3 kids and a husband and 2 jobs? This is how I kept up with my business in the beginning. You have heard Teresa Paul say time and time again, F-U, follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. How in the world, if you've got 28 customers, are you going to remember who you gave a brochure to, who you reached out and tried to call by phone, who placed an order last campaign? It leaves a place there for remarks. You need to teach your new representatives how to follow up. And there is no better way to follow up in the beginning than a paper follow-up. So I recommend this absolutely 100%. Again, the very last thing I put in is the page on the Business Booster. Again, I do not do this in color. I know you're seeing it in color. And look, if you don't want to use this for people who are worried about ink and all, look, guys, I'm only showing you what I do because there's a reason for how important it is. I know they send this in their kit, but again, sometimes they're like, well, okay, I don't know, this just must be something else, or maybe this is in here. I love this kit. I love the Business Booster. I am a firm believer in this. I love the products that they give them. I love the samples they give them. I love Success Magazine. I don't go a month without it. I love the CDs that come with it, and I believe this stuff will help the representatives become successful in this business. Not to mention the display that if they order this and when you're taking them out, showing them how to build a team, and you can display this gorgeous box that they have and open this up to products and everything else. I am telling you, I do this because I want to go over this. I say, hey, you know what? You only have 3 campaigns to order this. So if you are in one of those campaigns, if you are running low from your $100 order, maybe they're a slow starter, you may want to use this $35 thing, because I'm telling you, this is going to help your business. I'm telling you, you can sell the product. You can use it for people to sample the products. The magazine is going to be great for you. It's going to help you grow in this direct sales business. And the CD is something you can pop in your car. Every time you turn around, when you're feeling down, you're going to realize you're not alone. So I go over this with them because they need to hear from me what's important. So in a nutshell, what I've just gone over with you is that small packet is what I put in and what I send to my Avon representatives. The only other thing that I do, Lee, did you load up the welcome letter, honey? File 11 that Lee added is my welcome letter that I use. So on top of all of this that I just gave you, on top of all of this, I put my welcome letter. My welcome letter is very, very simple. It says, hello, welcome to Avon and our team. I say that because I want them to know they're a part of something remarkable and special, and that's what my team is. Hopefully by now you've received your Avon Startup Kit. If you haven't, I'm sure it will be to you within the next few days. When you receive your kit, don't forget to call me or the person who signed you up, who you signed up with, because look, I use this whether it's my second or third gen or my first gen, so I don't have to use 2 different ones. If you would like to schedule a phone appointment to get all your questions answered and help get you started in your new Avon business, I have included a packet of things that I think will help you get started, help give you a jump start. Notice I used a word they're going to see later in this, jump start, and understanding how to run your business. Remember, the most important thing is to get your books out to people and collect orders, because I want them to know no matter what happens, it is as easy as sharing their store, sharing the brochures. Of course, if you have any questions before that, please do not hesitate to call. Remember, you are in business for yourself, but never by yourself. I am another source of support for you. And, of course, you see my Avon Leadership logo on it, and I love it. It's Avon, but I love it. I can't let go of it. Dudes, peeps, teens, brothers, sisters, I am telling you, this works. I am not going to promise you that 100% of your people are going to do what they should do. Some people are going to get this and they may never open it. But I'm going to tell you the majority do, not just because it's a packet from me, but because I have touched base telling them, whoa, wait till you get this packet. You are going to be so on tune with what you need to do. You're going to see how easy this can be. And I'm going to give you so many resources that's going to help you to get out there and build this business. You can take away from this. You can add to this. You can keep this the same. But what you can't do and expect to be successful is you cannot do nothing, peeps. You cannot do nothing, Team Onward. You cannot be half-assed about this. You have got to help your team grow. And the only way they're going to grow in this business is with successful, on-the-money, spot-on information about what they need to do and when they need to do it. And then when they need help walking beside them, you are there to do this. Wouldn't it be great that you could put something in their hands with, instead of you getting 35 calls from them because they have nothing, that now you get 10 calls, and some of them, if they had really read it, they would have gotten it, but you can now direct them to something that you know what it says, you know what you sent out. You don't have to worry about whether Avon forgot it or they threw it away by mistake in their packet. You have given them the essence of success if they get out from in front of their TV and they get out there and they do what you've put in here. This is where a lot of my success has come from. And by the way, it's taken me a lot of years and a lot of changes as Avon gives them to us to keep taking these things and revamping them. Is this a little bit of extra work? You're daggone right. But do you want to make minimum wage, or do you want to never have to worry about anything you want to buy again in your life? Do you want to worry about how crappy your 401k is, or do you want to make your 401k cry because of the money you can make in Avon in the coming years? You have got to figure out a plan, whether it's my plan or somebody else's plan or your own plan or a combination of all of it in order to get the success that you were looking for. Because your success in this business only comes from the success of your team or what you're doing in your business. If your team is not selling products, you are making no money. You get that. It doesn't matter if they give Avon $15. If they're not out there putting in $150, $300 orders, if they're not encouraged to do more than that, if they feel lost, what's going to happen is you are going to fall apart at the seams. I'm so tired of hearing people talk about Avon taking their team and losing this and losing that. You know what? Jump on board of the train of responsibility and run your business like a business and do what you can to make your team successful. And don't stop at what you need. Go forth until you got so many on your team, you don't know who you're going to call next. Because that is the best feeling in the world, to have 56 phone messages in front of you, knowing that 56 people are wanting to know how to get this done because they've got our packet, okay? I know we ran way over. I knew we would tonight. I'm going to tell you that the video is going to be up and finished this weekend. I am going to go through all this again in video, but this is recorded. So you are going to be able to listen to this again, to share this with your team. And for those of you who like to watch my goofy facial expressions and my big hair, you will be able to see this on YouTube too when I post it. And take advantage of these files and do what you need to do. Go forth, grow your business. When you get discouraged, remember, onward, no matter what. Do not give up on you, because you're the only one who counts. It doesn't matter who else gives up. Don't you give up. Don't you quit, because right about the point